call this Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Board of Directors meeting for Thursday, July 17th to order. It is 4:01. Is the meeting being streamed live? Okay, meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. Let's have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So the next item on our agenda is the administration of oath of office for new board members.
Or returning.
Yeah, so why don't we have all three of you stand? Are you doing them individually or all together?
I will do them all together, they can simply say the name.
Okay, all right.
Let's hope we can follow all the words.
That's why you have the other
I'll
ones.
try to take it slow.
Raise your right hand.
I state your name,
I state your name, not John.
do solemnly swear
You
Do
solemnly
solemnly
swear
swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will
I will
support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Oregon
of the State of Oregon
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and will faithfully and honorably
and
and will faithfully and honorably
demean myself
demean myself
in the office of
in the office of
Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue District Director
Central Oregon Coast Fire
and
and Rescue
District
District Director,
position
Position 3.
position 2, thank you,
Down one.
4-year term,
for your term,
term expires
Term
term
expires.
expires
6/30/2029,
06/30/2029,
29.
to which I have been elected
to which I've been elected
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let the games begin.
Congratulations.
We need a shorter name.
You know? Yeah. We do, don't we?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. See you.
Now, those need to be
Thank
signed
you.
and returned.
Did you hear that, Judy?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
saw-
those need to be signed. and
Yeah.
If you,
returned.
if you leave them so we can,
Do you have a pen?
Whatever you
yeah.
just said. What she just said.
blue tub right behind you, there's pens.
Oh,
This
okay.
right here. I think you signed here.
That's a nice pen.
Is it signed here?
It's, yeah, that line right there.
Gotcha.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay, all right. Actually, I'm gonna keep the pen anyway.
If I don't have a pen, I don't have to sign checks.
Okay, so now, can we have a roll call?
Judy Mathis,
Here.
Rick Booth,
Here.
Rita Eckerman,
Here?
John McCullough,
Here.
Greg Dunn,
Here.
quorum's present.
Okay, the next item is election of officers.
Isn't that what you just did? Oh, officers.
Yeah. So the offices are president, vice president, and secretary treasurer.
We just voted.
Huh?
Do we nominate?
Nominate, and, yeah, yeah.
I nominate John as vice president. Can
I
do
second.
that? And Rita as president.
I'm sorry. I nominate John McCullen as president.
Oh, president.
Sorry, I didn't hear the vice.
So we have two, one for vice president, one for president.
So, at this point, we need a a second to the nomination.
I second Greg, Judy's nomination for John.
Okay,
Then I nominate Rita for vice president.
So you agree, so you changed yours to
Well,
John's?
yeah, because the votes already
Okay.
went through, yeah.
And I second for Rita for vice president.
okay. And, I nominate Rick for secretary treasurer.
What else do we have?
Second,
Okay, so we have John for president, myself for vice president, Rick for secretary treasurer. Are there any other nominations? Okay. So,
Is there room for discussion?
yes,
Okay. So, I just want, because I think it's surprise, I just want to say, is this something that, let's say a year from now, we can,
we can actually, we can do that at any time.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I kind of have rallied a little bit for this, and I would think at least for the next year, because the money from the state is still outstanding. We still have things going on between us and, you know, what we've asked our legal team to come back with that declaration that I asked for in the last meeting and stuff. That to the community, maybe to us, to help insulate us, to help us regain our anonymity to, as a standing government agency, that at least in the interim, that we don't have this, you know, quote, you know, Ghostbusters, we're not crossing the streams between the city.
It's
And the-
it's
and-
perfectly, it's
okay.
perfectly fine, John.
So-
And actually, quite frankly, I'm heartily in support of it because you have the time. You have the time to go to those meetings, you have the time
I know,
to
and
devote to it, and you have the dedication to do so.
Right.
So I am in
I
no
am a
way,
retirement
I am
fail.
in no
I
way
understand that.
surprised, chagrined, outraged, any of those things. I am in full
And I'm
support.
still gonna lean on you.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Okay.
So,
So
okay.
that being said, those are the nominations. If there are no objections, we can just go ahead and vote, one vote to seat the board.
For the slate of officers.
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, John. You get to take over the meeting,
Fine. All right, so.
unless you want to delegate it to your vice president.
For this meeting, yeah, go for it.
All right. Next thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the regular session minutes from June 18th. I don't believe we had any special sessions this time.
We did
No.
not.
Okay.
Okay, that was the one, okay.
This one's a good. Sorry, I had to talk to, because we
I'm in
had,
training.
yeah, I'm showing her the checks now. We don't want John to sign checks anymore, so. You're in,
I approve that statement.
there you go.
Okay. Anyway, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from June 18th, 2025? Are there any
Yes.
additions or corrections?
I wasn't here, but I read them.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve?
I have a motion to approve the minutes as written and submitted.
Do I hear a second? I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from June 18th, 2025. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Citizen participation. Do we have any citizens that wish to say anything to this board?
Congratulations to all the new members.
Thank you.
Anything online yet?
No.
Okay. Reports.
So, we had kind of an expensive endeavor with the first out engine here to put some brakes on it. But I've been going through and honestly putting in reminders and everything for tires and oil changes and lights and ODOT inspections and so on and so forth. And we were getting an alignment done, and it was was kind of a unforeseen expense, but I needed one, so, make sure it's safe, on the road, so. Other than that, we'll touch on some other things, or Chief will bring up some other things later on in his report, but other than that, it seems to be plenty delayed moving forward, so. Maybe or other, the engine has broken, so.
Okay.
I don't have anything, oh, did you?
I just want to, I don't, and if I'm jumping the gun on something you're going to talk about later, let me know, but it would probably be really good, especially with us being in conflag season and everything else. I know there's discussion about having to do the packing on the one pump or maybe, on the.
So
the stuff, well, what I was gonna just say is that maybe your next top 5 or top 10 things, if you have like a guesstimate of what our cost line is gonna look like, so that we have an idea to, we can just say, hey, if those are things that are in your priority order, just go ahead and go get it done and so we're not, because I know, like you said, you guys were like blindsided by the truck having.
Yeah, that needing brakes, that was a surprise. The needing tires, we kind of, somewhat knew that. The alignment, it was a thing that we could tell. So, but those were actually marginal brakes. 'Cause anymore, when a shop puts brakes on it, whether it's your car, a big truck, anything, they don't just put pads on, they don't turn the rotors. Everything gets replaced. Calipers, the rotors, the pads, everything. It's just a liability thing. That way, everything's brand new from the brake line to the hub. So,
Those things come out of the maintenance budget, so I don't have to come ask you guys for those things until they
Right.
exceed the maintenance budget.
Right.
So,
and as far as the next big expenditure, we did go ahead and process the packing that you're talking about. It's not the packing of the pump on the Type 3, it's the impeller, the input shaft.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna try to work on with FEP to get reimbursed for it anyway, but because it's 2 months out to get the parts and those particular parts that it needs on that impeller shaft, so it'll come with new input shaft and new impellers as well as all the gaskets and packing and everything.
Right.
It's about a quarter of the cost of a new pump, which is about $16,000 for a brand new pump. So in ordering that, hopefully Chief's gonna try to work with FEP and get that reimbursed, because it's 5,000, something like that, off the top of my head, something like that to rebuild that pump. And so after conflict, when we don't have to worry about weather, so the fire season so much, I'll take it back up, fire it up, old pump, and just go through it, it'll be brand new when it's done, so.
You're anticipating we don't get called 3 states over in November?
Well, see, even then, right now, it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't leak water while you're flowing it. It's only when the pump's engaged and it's just sitting there.
Right.
Because it builds pressure, and of course, it goes right out that input shaft, so. But as soon as we get, hopefully,
Yeah.
I would like to see it go. We kind of almost got in trouble in California because it was leaking, but we were able to baby it through. If we could baby it through one more season, for one, that'll help us with gas flow. 2, for repair, especially if FEP can't give us the reimbursement, but at the same time, that way it'll be easier to just put it out of service in the middle of the winter, so.
Cool. Thanks, Eric.
No problem.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't have anything for admin report other than, I'll just get together with Eric to get access to the building.
Sorry.
He'll get you one of these and then the little card and a code. So just, see him. And then, I think I got you access to everything else, other than training. I'll set you up on that. Volunteer-wise, we've got volunteers we got 4 of them doing the wildland staffing grant on different shifts and stuff, this year. Bingo tomorrow night. Don't forget to bring your canned food. I think jackpot's up to 621, I think is what I figured out today. We're not quite sold out because July, just some of our regulars tend to travel, so we do still have openings if anybody wants to bring anybody with them. I think that's, do you have anything volunteers say?
One of the volunteers did apply for a grant for an EMT reimbursement to, I want to say, OHSU.
Oh, yeah.
I did it.
OHA.
So it was an
I think it was OHA.
One of those, anyhow, I did an introduction hopefully, he applied for a $1,600 grant to pay for it, so hopefully that'll come through. Maybe next month we'll know. They were right at the end of their grant year, so they sent an email saying, hey, we kind of need this, right away, so hopefully they'll get that. Billy?
The only other thing we have is actually on Chief's report, so I'll let him cover that. When we get there.
Okay, and Brett was unable to be here today, so we don't have a financial report. We do have
Well, I
the,
have some questions, because I want to make sure Judy hears what I'm hearing. First of all, the safe is a year, this is for a year?
The safe,
Yes,
yes.
Yeah.
it's $29,000. So, and the 5196, John, can you tell us what we paid? I know it was a grant for a detector or something.
Oh, yeah, we got a second gas monitor and a charge, or a calibration station, where we don't have to do it manually anymore, you just put the monitor in the station and it automatically calibrates it.
Okay.
And we're doing that every 2 days.
There's some notes in here on it, so when you're looking at that check, you'll be able to go back and see it, but that was that grant through Three Rivers that they got, so. Okay, those were my two, and then the Amazon, that's just a conglomeration of a lot of buys and $1,600.
The Amazon is, yeah, it's our main, where we mainly get our office supplies, anything, I mean, I know he orders some stuff from it. The one thing, though, that Brett's gonna get with our new credit card statement is a refund for our Amazon Prime membership. We now get that free as SDAO members, so that saves us, I mean, it's $180 a year, but it's still a savings. I had to attend a little webinar workshop thing in order to do it, so it was like an hour out of my life to get us, that membership free, but
I think that's all the questions I have on the checks that I'm signing.
okay. Well, then, do I have a motion to approve paying the bills?
I motion we approve the bills and,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Because we don't have the
oh, okay, we don't
financial.
have the financials, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll
I
have
mean-
two of them
I
next
mean,
month.
it's here, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, right. Oh, that's true, it is in the packet.
Right.
So I guess we can go ahead and approve the financial report unless anybody has any questions.
Yeah, it's showing, I mean, it's identified as not final for balance sheet as of June 30th. The only thing I was gonna ask was, if I'm reading this right, it says that we have 200, that as of the end of June, we had 231,000 outstanding in the bank account. So, and then I think that was, we extrapolated out that the money that we have on our need as we go loan, we will be pulling,
Yeah, we have like basically
we'll pull out a certain amount of money of
680,000
that to
altogether.
cover us through the next 3 months.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that needs to be a as-needed draw, not lump sum draws.
Okay,
Right now, it's not really a big deal because we're gonna go through some of that, but as it gets closer to the end.
yeah, yeah.
We
I-
only
we
pay
only
interest
draw
on what we
need.
draw.
And when I talked to Linda at the bank the other day, and that's what she said, you just need to
Right.
call, and ask for it from the line of credit, but it can
Yes.
be on an as-needed basis,
So
not.
when he says, hey, pull this much, then, especially as it gets closer to the end, the question needs to be, is that all we need, or
Right.
are you just pulling a lump sum? Because
Right.
anything more we pull, we're paying interest on it.
Right, I totally.
Right, we should only be
yes.
pulling exactly.
Exactly what we need,
Well,
yeah,
within,
yep, within, yeah,
and that's really only gonna be, it sounds like August, September, and October
mm-hmm,
is what.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I do have one more question.
oh, okay.
Wendy, can you explain what the Streamline Flex is?
that is our website.
Okay, thank you.
And I have questions into them because they doubled that.
Okay, well, the number looked bigger than it's.
Yeah. And that's not, I have questions into them. I just haven't received a response yet.
So
So-
that's the website.
Yeah. And that's a yearly.
Thank you.
While you guys are on the finance stuff, because I know Brett's not here, but him and I have been, over the last 2 weeks, back and forth, giving the auditors lots and lots of information. So I think we're wrapping up all the stuff that they need to finish last year's, and we're collecting all our stuff to start the new one as well, so that we can just kind of move from one to the other one, and then we'll be all caught up and stuff with them. So he'll probably bring that up at the next meeting.
Very good. You want me to do some-
So do we want to just,
She's not on the bank account
Okay,
yet,
so which way you want me to go?
just this way.
Okay. Have the bank.
so do we just want to
I knew I had signed it.
let the
I don't know.
the financial report roll
I wanna
until
get
next
you-
month, and then we'll just do 2 months of financial?
We can do that, because I think, especially with June, you know, there may still be changes, so
Yep.
we can go ahead and approve paying the bills and approve the financial report next month.
So we have, did we motion and
I
second?
think we did, yeah.
You can do a second.
So it's been moved and seconded, we're going to approve the, paying the bills, and, we will defer the, acceptance of the financial report until next month. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We don't have anything under old business? Okay. Under new business, we have the acceptance of abstract of votes from May's special election. That is basically just an acknowledgement that we have received and approved the results of the May election.
And you have two different ones. You have the measure election and then the board
Correct.
elections.
Yeah, yeah. And then committee discussion.
Right, that's me.
Okay.
So we don't have to vote?
I don't, well, okay.
I think we have to accept them.
We accept, let's just go ahead and accept them by motion.
Make a
So-
motion that we accept the abstract votes from the county as presented.
Okay,
I motion.
and second. It's been moved and seconded to accept the abstract of votes from the May election. All those in favor?
Aye.
There's nothing we can
Motion carries. Okay, committee discussion.
All right, so
do. Abstract votes.
pull up my little cheat sheet here. So in last month's meeting, I brought up in the good of the order that we could be, you know, starting in this meeting, that I would bring it to the board's attention, to set up a committee of 2. The idea is for us to initiate with emails to the 2 districts on either side of us, and have an open dialogue on doing consolidation. So consolidation falls under ORS 198-895. It's the initiation of merger and consolidation. And under that, there's a litany, but kind of the highlights are 198-915 is election of board members at regular district election, which has a subset of 198-910, which is joint meeting of governing bodies of merged or consolidated districts and cities. And then the other one is, would be the 199-480, which is filing of major boundary change order, and that basically sets the stage for the state Department of Revenue to come in and do a full assessment of the new boundary to determine what the new permanent rate would be. And then at that point, the new, you know, the interim board, because there's an interim board that comes into play here, and they are only in office like 2.5 years max. And then you have to cycle into the 4-year / 2-year split. And I don't want to get way into the weeds, but what this committee, clearly what this committee is to do is to be able to have folks from both of the other districts sit down and get an understanding and explore the benefit of becoming one district from an economic standpoint, from a liability standpoint, getting rid of, just,
Redundancy.
so much redundancy as far as positions, in certain aspects like one chief versus three, excess equipment, excess liability insurance, all of that stuff. My rough order of looking at things just between two districts, I came up easily, very conservatively, that a new district would save the taxpayers on order of around 300,000, give or take, just by that consolidation. What all of this does not do, and needs to be very clear to the public going out, is nobody in this process at this point, we don't select a new chief. We do not select SOGs. We do not determine whether or not an ambulance service comes or goes. We don't do any of that. All this is to set up a framework to go to the county and put a ballot measure out there asking two questions. One, are you willing to dissolve your current district to consolidate into a larger district? And if your answer to that is yes, then the other question you're being asked is to accept the new district, which would be defined in the ballot measure of what that area is going to be. Once that process is done through the public, then we sit back again on another set of ORS and select that board out of existing board members, and then solidify the SOGs, getting, in this case, potentially bringing on a temporary chief through SDAO that has solid background on mergers and consolidations, and then, building it out from that point. So there is two very defined steps, and this first step, though, is just literally looking at the economics of going forward and then presenting a package to the voters to vote on. And up to this point, I was gonna say that I definitely wanted to be on the committee coming out of our district, now that I'm in my new role. I'm still willing to do that and
I think it's still
make that
appropriate.
happen.
Yeah.
And anybody, would like, Judy's wanting to jump right in, so. But we definitely have to, bring it up as a motion and vote on it, because we're gonna be acting on behalf of the district and
Right.
discussing this with others. So, is there any other conversations or any other pieces of the pie that anybody wants to bring in that I'm missing? Chief?
I think just reminding that, number one, a committee cannot speak for the board. You can only bring information back to the board to be voted on.
Right.
And two, I think that to try to get this in simpler terms, you want to form a committee to enable the ability to communicate with the other districts around us, and then identify if they want to form committees to communicate back.
Right.
Going into the ORSs, going into, would be after committees are formed and boards are informed, and then votes happen. So at this point, you're looking for a motion and second to have two members of the board act as a committee to be able to go out and communicate, and then
Right.
hopefully get reciprocation from that, and then go from there.
Right.
So-
I mean, if both sides do not, if both sides say they're not either ready or interested or whatever, there's not a lot we can do. If one or the other chooses, and I've read through the ORSs ad nauseum, and it doesn't even matter. Let's say all three decide to come to the table in the beginning, but then in the process of getting to that point, one of them decides, nah, they don't want to continue, or it does actually get to the voters, and that district votes no, they don't want to dissolve and reconstitute into a larger district, that's okay, because if the other two do pass and do vote to consolidate, that's exactly what happens.
Right.
It's not an all or nothing, it's, so, and that's the fluidness of this whole process. And I've told you guys for months now, especially with the election and the vote, I think our community has come to the table and said, hey, you know what? We're gonna support you. We gave you another 5 years with your levy increase. But in that 5-year period or less, we are looking for you guys to come to the table with a solid consolidation plan. And I think we owe it to our community. I think all the communities will benefit from this, but we can only control our folks, and we just go from there and start.
Yeah, and we're just now initiating the process. I mean,
Right.
the other two boards are going to have to go through the
Right.
same, appointing two members to meet, and so on. So-
And then I think while we're going through this process, that maybe there'll be, whether it's under old business, it'll probably be old businesses, that there'll be literally a line item where every single meeting, there will be an update on where we are, what stumbling blocks we're running into or whatever, because maybe other people can bring something to the table that we're not
Right.
thinking about.
Yeah, well, and that is true. The membership of the committee might end up evolving as
Yes.
well, so.
Right.
I'll motion for us. Judy, you want to do it? I motion for Judy and John to be
To
the
initiate
committee.
the process and.
Yeah, initiate the process.
And,
I second.
okay, so it's been moved and seconded for Judy and John to initiate the process. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Let's see here, do we have anything else under new business? Okay, chief's report.
So grants, still holding out, waiting to hear whether or not the FEMA grants are gonna go through. They just recently pushed through the SAFER and the fire prevention grants, which kind of tells me that perhaps the funding has gone through, and so they'll finish up this round, and then if they do end up closing FEMA in November, this will just be the last round of it. It's still kind of hard to follow, so, but our grants are still out there, they're still showing pending in the law. So they are still in existence, they just haven't, and we normally don't find out till September anyways, usually. And that's if they're on time. One year, a couple of years back, we didn't find out till February of the next year, so. I did resubmit the proposal to Congresswoman Hoyle's office for funds for the station. Haven't heard anything back on that yet. It's still pretty early on that process. I am submitting a new grant to the Ford family, asking them for $8,000. I'm looking at hosting a countywide fire academy in October. The last few years, Toledo's hosted it. I don't think they have the ability or the capacity right now to host it. That's just my assumption. That's not fact or anything. It's just assuming. So I would like to step up and, a lot of you know, when I was doing training for North Lincoln, I was running the countywide academies for a while up in North Lincoln. We have the capacity to do it here. I'd like to do it, but I'm asking the Ford family for about $8,000 to sponsor the academy so that there are no costs to the other districts for books, recruit uniforms, getting some materials that we'll need to make some of the classes, the hands-on classes happen, getting some training props to make the academy, happen, and basically being able to provide meals on the Saturday classes so that we don't have to have the students leaving and trying to find places to eat and get food, especially down here where there's not a lot of options. So we'll be able to bring food in and keep the students here for the whole day for the hands-on sessions. we're gonna match that with in-kind matching, basically saying that if you give us the money, we're dedicating the time through our instructors, through our facilities, through our equipment to make this happen as a matching to you. So, we'll see what they say. I'm still working on it. It'll go in, later this month. And we don't have any surplus right now. Everything's been sold off, pretty much after basically, 5 years, we've finally cleaned house all the way out.
I
So-
found tires, well, excuse me, the city found tires that
Oh, yeah.
still, some of them still have rims, that look like they were from like the old ambulances. So that's about the only thing that we have in Canopy that I'm trying to get rid of on drug deals. So it'll be pretty minuscule. There's just a few things, but yeah, we've pretty much gone through, cleaned up all the old, broken, missing.
I can remember not too long ago where it seemed like we were drowning in surplus
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah,
So,
getting rid
good
of the
job.
Connexes, getting rid of
Yep.
equipment that was
Yep.
sitting around, getting rid of
Yep,
hose that was out of date. I mean, we've gone through a lot of stuff, and we're finally at the point, other than these tires that showed up the other day, where we're pretty much done cleaning house, and
great.
just everything we have is what's operational, so. For those of you who are here, thank you for being here. For those of you who weren't able to be here, Charlie did get awarded the Golden Sparky Award, so that's a pretty big deal.
It's out in the lobby if you want to see it.
Yeah.
He couldn't find a shelf at home to put it on that it fit right, so he decided to have it on display here, so we're happy to host it. And then the one big thing, which I sent out an email to all of you before, the bay doors on the station, they gotta be replaced. They're failing, they're locking in fire trucks. And then when we do have to open them manually, they are really heavy, and it puts a liability on the firefighters. So I asked, Brett, and I believe I courtesy copied Rita in that email about the building reserve funds and what can they be used for. He did say that they can be used for fixing and repairing and replacing things on the building. So I am looking for approval to spend roughly 13,
I think it was, closer to
14 to get the doors replaced with all the materials, new openers, and the sensors that we're supposed to have for safety on the doors.
So are there 3 doors or 2 doors?
3 doors, and then the top
3
panels
doors
of door
and-
1
okay,
need to be
yeah.
replaced.
The one door's there, but it doesn't have the sensor,
Uh-huh,
and then the other 3 doors are.
right, yeah.
And
And for
I have
$14,000,
helped, I have
I think
helped a
that's.
couple of times with trying to lift those doors manually. That is not fun.
So a spring life on a garage door, doesn't matter if it's commercial or residential, is 10,000 cycles. And the cycle is open and it closed once. Bay one, I've replaced the springs on it twice before I put a new door in, just because. And I've been working with Sam back west, and as well as some of the people that stay here. If it's a nice day, don't have to be plugged in. Or if it's looking like it's a busy day, don't open and close the door 19 times a day. Try to just hang out on the apron, especially if you're anticipating, you hear the county on the radio, it's getting busy, you're probably gonna go back to the airport anyway. So they're actually being very conscientious about not using the door every time they let down, so.
I think it's a small price.
Hmm?
I think it's a small price to pay for.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I have a question about when those doors go in, is there any way, will it be able to have, especially that one column, kind of aligned so that when these new doors go down, that we're not looking through side view mirrors out the side? Because I know the other problem that's gotta be, and I don't know, you guys, nobody's said anything, but I have to assume that at some point we have a rodent problem because they've got a,
Every once in a while they
dog
show
door down
up,
there.
yeah, and every once in a while they come in, we've got little bait canisters out there, it's not as cool as, some of the pest companies.
but will those new doors kind of help us?
They'll be
fix-
more sealed, yes.
Yeah, they'll, okay.
Yeah, they'll be sealed up against the thing, because, yeah, there's some definitely open gaps in the bottom.
Are we eventually gonna get, an upgraded system, kinda like they have in, the valley? I forget where I was at, but I heard their thing go off and the doors automatically open as soon as their tones go off.
Well, so I've kind of been playing with some programming and software, some of that stuff. gets really expensive. I mean, like the gradual waking firefighters up at night, you've probably seen these start to turn red. And I've been slowly working on programming it to where when the tones go off, that it turns these things, and hopefully eventually when I get ready for it, migrate it upstairs, it'll turn red lights on, volume levels will slowly increase. I don't really, because, especially at night, unless I can program it to where it won't activate the doors at night, I don't really want them opening at night.
Yeah.
These
We
doors
won't
will
do that.
close automatically now, as long as the sensors are blocked. These doors are gonna be set, because you get in a hurry, everybody's done it, I've done it. Go out the door and you don't think to look in the mirror to make sure the door is closed. I've driven by 11 o'clock at night and both PacWest and engine door are wide open, so, and they're on calls. So
Yeah.
it's just happening. So I'm gonna set these so that every 10, once they're open, after 10 minutes, if they're not, have been closed, they will close automatically.
Yeah,
So-
that's definitely a good thing. because-
We don't need to do automatic openers on the doors. We had that when I volunteered for Jefferson, it was all volunteer. And so when the tones would go off, the door would open up automatically so that it was one less step for everybody had to do when they got there to get inside. We don't need that. Our crews are already here, so as soon as they come downstairs, they hit the opener, whether they hit the one on the wall or the one in the truck, and the door goes up. We don't need it automatic. It's just another piece of equipment that'll break later down the road that we'll have to replace.
The
It's
only
just
other
not
thing
necessary.
that I'm gonna add to these doors is, because of prior situations, on the sides of the columns, both on the exterior and interior, on the engineer or driver side of the vehicle, they'll have little post lights, they're that tall, just red and green. If they're red, don't move the truck, don't try to back it up, don't try to pull it forward, because the door's not fully open. If it's green, of course, then the door's open. So those will be eliminated, so that we don't have people backing into the doors.
Yeah, we don't do that.
And reflector tapes on the doors. Because the doors are black.
We
But
need a motion for that 14.
Yes, yes.
I'll motion that we spend up to 14,000 for new doors, right?
Do we wanna, you said it up to 14,000, or do we wanna
Is it-
do it to 15? I'm just,
If we could do 15 just in case the
for a
electrical's
little wiggle
more,
room, I'm
or-
just thinking.
Yeah, because
Not to
I
exceed
mean,
15,000.
yeah.
I motion not to exceed 15,000 on new doors.
From the building reserves.
Yeah,
From
from
the
the
building
building reserve.
and this comes with the scissor jack for you and a whole bit, right?
I priced all
So-
of it.
And I'm still kind of wonky on the fact that I would like somebody out there with you, so since I'm a retirement fail, and it's already been noted that I have all the time in the world.
I didn't
will at
say
least
that.
come down to the station to assist any way I can, and which could be as much as
I appreciate
stand over there and just don't say anything.
I appreciate that, but I do not want somebody standing there for 8 hours watching me for 2 minutes.
Okay.
So Rick,
My question is, do we have to do a resolution, and is the resolution done?
the equipment reserve
Because-
is,
Brett says we need a resolution, John's mentioning a resolution.
we can go ahead and authorize the expenditure and adopt the resolution, a formal resolution at the next meeting. The action can be memorialized in the minutes now with the permanent memorialization.
As long as we're
next
meeting
month.
the needs of
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Brett's
so,
talking about.
so Brett can have that resolution, drafted for the next meeting, but we can go ahead and,
That's
we-
usually
we
how
can-
he would do it anyways. You guys would approve it, and then he would do a resolution at the next
Yeah,
meeting.
we could wait until the next meeting when the resolution's approved still. We just need to get these in before the storm season comes back.
right, I understand. But this way, at least you can get them ordered or do
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's gonna
And-
take,
and
it
you're
takes
saying 4
about
to
6
6
weeks
months?
for it to show up.
6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks,
Well,
because they manufacture.
What the email says is 4 to 6, so I guess months.
It's 4 to
No.
6 weeks.
Okay, that's not in
Yeah.
your email. It says
Sorry.
4 to 6.
I forgot to put
4
that
to
in. It's
6,
4 to
yeah.
6 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to approve, up to 15,000. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
And then other than, wildland season, we did deploy to the Elk Fire, but we were only there for 4 days, I think, 4 or 5 days total, so not a very long fire. The state's really throwing a lot of resources at fires right now, so they're getting good containment, quick containment, and IMT teams on scene pretty quickly. So, we were there for a little bit, and then it was under control, and so they sent us back. So
Okay.
we'll get a little bit of reimbursement, but not a lot.
Yeah. Good. Okay, is there anything else, anything under good of the order?
I just want to thank the board for having the confidence in me being president, and I appreciate everything that you have done in the 3 years so far that I've been on the board, and the knowledge that you bring, and like I said, I will be leaning on you. And I hope that we can, I will just say, one of my goals that I will be bringing to this room every month is the district being able to be identifiable as a standalone entity that brings, first response, life-saving measures to the community on a daily basis, and that our community is very well versed on what we do. That's part of our job.
Yep. All right, well, if there's nothing further to come before the board,
No, just somebody told me my volume's a little low. So, over 5 months.
okay,
Not necessarily good of the order, but just to kind of give everybody a heads up, I am helping Abby Dorsey, Deputy Dorsey, National Night Out, August 5th, for anybody who wants to come join and help out.
all right. Okay, if there's nothing further to come before the board, meeting is adjourned. Okay, so